Namaste, Ayubawan. Welcome to the ISCCI webinar on scintillating Sri Lanka as a holiday and business destination. My name is Naresh Bana and I am the Vice Chairperson of INDO-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industry based at Delhi. It's a great honor for me to moderate this webinar. Please allow me to share some webinar technicalities with you and present the sequence of events for the next 90 minutes. The webinar is being recorded and scheduled to finish by 6 p.m. We will make the recording available on the ISCCI YouTube channel subsequently. Raising of hands, question asking, and chat function is activated. Please use as per functionality of each provision. Questions from webinar participants are very welcome. We'll try to respond during the webinar, and should not be possible, then we'll give replies in writing later. I will present each speaker ahead of the respective thematic presentation or talk. After the talk, there will be time for live question and answer session with all the three panelists. Please use question mark sign on your screen for sending your questions. Let me now introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Krishantha Fernando. And Mr. Fernando is the General Manager of Sri Lanka Convention Bureau. He is the head of the organization and manages all operational and development activities of Sri Lanka Convention Bureau under the Ministry of Tourism of Sri Lanka. Before joining SLCB, he has served as the General Manager at North Sea Limited, that is Ministry of Reforms, Rehabilitation, Resettlement and Religious Affairs. Now, before I hand over to Mr. Krishantha, there is a promotional video of Sri Lanka tourism which we would like to share with you. Now, hold your breath. Here comes Scintillating Sri Lanka.
Are you looking for the ultimate events destination? The answer lies in an enchanting island, the events destination with the full package. Meetings, incentive travel,
So there's no sound coming out of it.
conferences, exhibitions, hosted in a place like no other, a place renowned for its smiling hospitality, with a splendid selection of five-star hotels, boutique hotels, villas, and of course enchanting beach resorts. An island nation with easy access to everything, international and domestic air services, transport facilities, including modern highways and superior communication. The land of 1,000 unique experiences, glitzy supermalls for shopping, great destinations for adventure, places rich in history and culture. Cuisine with the flavors of paradise. A truly unique destination for any event with endless possibilities for business and leisure.
Great.
Nice one.
That's a wonderful start. And the floor is yours, Mr. Krashanta. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bana. I'm sorry, the soundtrack did not play. There must have been some kind of a glitch to it. Anyway, Ayubowan, Namaste, warm welcome from our beautiful island. Sri Lanka Convention Bureau, along with Sri Lanka High Commission in New Delhi, would like to thank Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Delhi chapter, for organizing today's webinar, Scintillating Sri Lanka as a holiday business destination. Let me warmly welcome the audience and eminent panel. Thank you for taking time out from your evening engagement and being present here. Sri Lanka Convention Bureau functions under the Ministry of Tourism, and our mandate is to promote and educate on the MICE industry. So one of the questions raised at these forums are travel restrictions to Sri Lanka. So if you are fully vaccinated with a vaccination certificate and a 72-hour prior to boarding negative PCR report, you are good to go. So we are proud to state that we are one of the few countries in the world that relax the entry requirements. We are constantly working with the Ministry of Health to ensure your safety is the #1 priority while visiting our beautiful island and to return you safely. We encourage you to visit our website, Meet in Sri Lanka, that will direct you to the latest entry-exit requirement. Plus, you could check out the MICE travel assistance scheme offered. Now that Sri Lanka is open for visitors, we warmly welcome our friends from India to host their next event in Sri Lanka. With convenient airline connectivity, with shorter flight time, it will be perfect for your next event. Whether it's a conference, meeting, exhibition, or incentive, we are here to welcome you. Whatever the event, we have the necessary infrastructure and the technology to deliver star-class event. As you're aware, post-COVID traveler will be looking for nature, wellness, and tranquility to unwind a busy day. Not to forget religious retreats. This is a niche segment that we are ready to offer to your esteemed clients. We are year-round destination with amazing weather. Our nature, adventure, culture, heritage, food contributes towards an authentic and diverse Sri Lankan experience. Plus, we are compact. It's an opportune time to focus on a couple of activities that we have planned. As you all know, we had a virtual fam tour of Colombo and the attractions that are available for esteemed MICE Operators Association Incorporated. It was a successful event with access limited to only limited number of participants. Long-awaited inaugural MICE Expo 2021 will kick off on December 1st to 3rd, and we encourage all our participants to join in for this networking opportunity. If you are planning your next MICE event, you must attend the virtual MICE Expo 2021 to understand what we bring to the table and the experience you could offer to your esteemed clients. Plus, you get to build a relationship with like-minded people working together to uplift the mice industry. Following up to the virtual mice expo, we intend to have a physical event in 2022. We encourage to sign up. We are planning a mice promotions targeted 6 major cities, at least 4 familiarization tours from India. As all of you are aware of the conference facilities available in Colombo with star-class accommodation, let me touch on another venue that is less than 30 minutes away from the home of the leopards, with a venue that could accommodate 1,000+ guests with exclusive star-class as well as boutique hotels. Within 2 hours from Colombo is Magam Ruhundapura International Convention Center in Hambantota. Where in the world would you watch the world's largest mammal, one enjoying the warm waters of the Indian Ocean, the other roaming the national park? Plus, you are minutes from the sacred temple of Lord Murugan. If you wish, you could charter your flight and fly directly to Maktala Rajapaksa International Airport, which is few minutes from the convention center and all the attractions available for you. We are famous for culinary experience, as you have seen on the video. For the vegetarian lovers, we have kiribat, milk rice with lunumiris, spicy sambal, hopper string hoppers made from rice flour, both of them served with veg or non-veg dishes. Then we have lamprey. It's a non-veg dish inspired by Sri Lankan Dutch burger community. They are famous for crab and shrimp curry, spiced up with jaffna flavors. Of course, if you're having this dish, you need to have a super cool drink because these dishes are very hot. Another spicy dish is kothu roti. Again, this dish is prepared veg or non-veg. Another spicy dish, but could control the spiciness. Hope I did not make you too hungry after watching the video and talking about this food. So, when you're planning your next event, please keep us on the loop and we'll warmly welcome you to our beautiful island for an experience that you'll never forget. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Bana. I think you're muted, sir.
Harish, you are muted.
Thank you, Mr. Prashant. That was really a talk which was very interesting, and I was really recollecting that the kind of dishes you, mouth-watering dishes you mentioned. I'm sure many of us are encouraged to plan and expedite their plan, which were long pending, like me. Now, let me take you all to our next panelist, Mr. Imran Hassan. He's one of the most dynamic personality from the Sri Lankan MICE ecosystem, that is meetings, incentives, conventions, and events. Stands for MICE, and not the computer mice or any other mice, right? So Mr. Imran Hassan is a renowned figure in mice industry in Sri Lanka and in the region as a whole. His specialty is in conceptualizing, creating, and developing trade fairs, conferences, and other events. He has been instrumental in reviving the Sri Lanka Association of Professional Conference Exhibition and Event Organizers, in short, called SLAPCO, when he served as the president of this organization from 2009 to 13. He also headed the Trade Fair Organization Forum of this organization until he took over as president of SLAPCO once again in June this year. He has the experience of organizing over 500 international trade fairs and conferences in Sri Lanka, India, Maldives, and Seychelles during his 23 years in mice industry. Imran Hassan is a substantial personality considered to be one of the most experienced individuals in the region for exhibitions and conferences. He has the experience of organizing conferences and exhibitions on virtual and hybrid basis during the pandemic. He is Managing Director of CDC Events, a successful conference and exhibition organizing company based in Sri Lanka. Over to you, Mr. Imran.
Good afternoon. Can you all see my screen and hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Ayubowan, Namaste, Vanakkam, and Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to my presentation on Scintillating Sri Lanka as a holiday and business destination. I must start by saying I have traveled to several countries, however, whenever I see one of these Sri Lanka tourism or Sri Lanka Convention Bureau videos, it encourages me to go around Sri Lanka, which I have done many times. So it's a beautiful video, Krishanta, and I think all Indians and all people all over the world should come to Sri Lanka and see Sri Lanka as it is, like the video showed you. Going back to my presentation, so as you can see, I've featured Sigiriya as well as our Colombo city. I'm going to show you some picture slides and really show you what Sri Lanka is, putting more words, pictures to the words that Mr. Krishanta Fernando shared with you. I'm actually the president of SLAPSU, as Mr. Bana said. A good introduction was given of me. So let me introduce Sri Lanka as my destination. Sri Lanka is a place where business and pleasure blissfully coexist. I'm sure anyone who has come to Sri Lanka will agree on that. We welcome all of you all to come for business, but stay for pleasure. You have serenity in the mountains, history in places like Sigiri and the Cultural Triangle. We have wildlife, pristine beaches, water sports and tea gardens. Live the Sri Lankan dream. These are some of the beautiful waterfalls in our country. Our people are very friendly. We are health conscious, eco conscious, and it is a place full of history and affordable. We give you magical experiences. This is a photograph of the Mount Leunia Hotel in the closest beach to Colombo. These are some of the serendipitous moments of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is picture perfect day and night. Sri Lanka is an Instagram worthy. Sri Lanka has Instagram worthy surroundings. So today, Instagram and Facebook plays a major role with selfies in our lives. It has lasting impressions. So this is Sri Lanka. Colombo welcomes you. So let me talk about the Sri Lanka Association of Professional Conference, Exhibition and Event Organizers. This organization was established in 2002 with a view of developing MICE industry. We work together with the Sri Lanka Convention Bureau and Sri Lanka Tourism to achieve this goal. SLAPSU is the only association in Sri Lanka which represents the MICE industry and the only recognized body of the Sri Lanka Convention Bureau and the Sri Lanka Tourism with regard to MICE. SLAPSU follows a stringent process in selecting its members to ensure that we maintain professionalism and maintain betterment of the industry. SLAPSU has over 50+ members who are ready to service any event which comes to Sri Lanka. We encourage all participants who come to Sri Lanka, all delegates and all event organizers to engage members of our association who engage in organizing meetings, incentive travel groups, conferences, exhibition, events and weddings. So we welcome you all to engage our services so you get a better deal, better service and a better quality product with regards to your next conference, exhibition, event, wedding, or incentive group coming to Sri Lanka, or even a business meeting. So let me give you a small overview of the Sri Lanka tourism structure. Within Sri Lanka tourism, there is the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, which predominantly concentrates on promoting leisure tourists. Then you get the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, which is the arm for licensing and the regulator, I must say. And then comes the Sri Lanka Convention Bureau, which overlooks obviously this part, MICE tourism. And then we have the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management, which is the hotel school. Our tourism industry is basically consists of these four main associations, which is the Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operators, the Tourist Hotels Association of Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lanka Association of Professional Conference Exhibition Event Organizers, that is SLAPSIO, our organization, and the Association for Small and Medium Enterprise Tourism. So these are the four recognized associations within our industry. So if you have any tourism related issues with the private sector, these are the associations to talk to. SLAPSIO, represented by me. Other Sri Lanka tourism industry associations are these. These are mostly regional, but yes, we have a thing called the One Voice, where our industry stands together to take up industry issues. Our business community in Sri Lanka has several chambers. The foremost chamber of Sri Lanka is the Ceylon chamber, which is over 100-year-old chamber, which is predominantly started off with the tea auctions and the tea business. But yes, it is the main chamber of the country. I think their official chamber that they coordinate with in India is the CII of India. Then we have the Federation Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which has a lot of regional chambers coming under them in Sri Lanka. And then I think it coordinates with FICCI. Then we have the Organization of Professional Association of Sri Lanka, or the OPA, which has over 52 associations, professional associations under them, and over 60,000 members. Then we have Sri Lanka Medical Association and other associations. Then the other government organizations which have a lot of external coordination is actually organizations like the Sri Lanka Development, Export Development Board, which is similar to the Export Promotion Councils of India. And the Board of Investment is very important to any Indians, because this is where investment opportunities can be looked upon. And the Chamber of National Chamber of Exporters and other relevant chambers, there are many, but these are mainly the frontline chambers. In Sri Lanka, I'm telling you this because Indians, when you come for business, I mean, these will be of focal points to you. Okay, I wish to also bring to the attention this, because I have traveled to almost all parts of all states of India within my work experience of about 25 years. So Sri Lanka is a small place, and people believe that like in India, Delhi to Chennai to Bangalore, no, in Sri Lanka we don't have too many metropoles or too many big cities. The biggest city and 90% of the business is done in Colombo. Jaffna was opened up about 10-15 years ago, but yet the businesses are very regional there. Trincomalee is also very regional. Kandy is the second biggest business city of Sri Lanka, and then maybe followed by Galle. Hambantota also we are developing. It has all the infrastructure, but business is yet to happen. It has a port, it has an airport, but for the benefit of all Indians who are coming to Sri Lanka for business, yes, Colombo is, I think, the main city for business. For leisure, you can go to other parts of the country, but if you want to travel to ports, yes, you can travel to Trincomalee, Galle, Hambantota. Yes, depending on your business, but 90%, 95% of the business houses in Sri Lanka are based in Colombo. It is not like in India, it's not that big. So Colombo is the main city for business. As far as tourism is concerned, the main hotspot in Sri Lanka, main airport is in Katnayaka, or the Colombo airport, which is about 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers from Colombo, and you can get with the in the expressway in 20 minutes to Colombo. With the new infrastructure coming up, it will be very convenient. You can just come in 20 minutes, and Colombo has several beaches and business. All major entertainment casinos all are in Colombo for entertainment purposes. Then Galle, which is further down, is another hotspot for tourism. And from Colombo to Galle, right through to Galle, are the beaches, the southern beaches where Bentota and all these places for water sports. So these are the popular areas. And then Negombo, so which is close to the airport. Also Indians patronize these areas, which is very popular. Then the hill country is in the center of the country, which is Nuwara and Kandy. So these are for the hill climate, colder climates within 2 hours, 4 hours. But once the airport, the central highway is completed, which is being done now, you can go to Kandy and the hill country within, I think, 1.5 hours, 1 hour 20 minutes. Then the cultural triangle is here, right? We have beaches, as you can see, all around the country. Wildlife destinations are southeast of Sri Lanka, northwest of Sri Lanka, the main wildlife destinations, and then central Sri Lanka. And then Trincomalee is another. We have 2 seasonal periods for the beach. One is the southern beaches on this side, and then the eastern beaches on this side. So that's about it. First, from Indian perspective, I think this is, and then we have Jaffna, which is historical and a lovely place to visit. Okay, so perspective, I will go on to the next slide. As you all know, Sri Lanka's connectivity is very easy.
You have 2 systems on, and one of them needs to be muted.
I have only one system.
So can I request others to mute their systems, please?
Is that okay now?
Please continue. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So Sri Lanka is, as a geographical positioning, it's easy connectivity to Sri Lanka and Colombo. I think we are having many flights from India. Before the pandemic, I think we had many cities and many flights, almost 100 flights a day from India to Sri Lanka. And Sri Lankan Airlines itself flew many flights to Sri Lanka from almost all destinations, north, south, east, and west of India. So and Sri Lanka, for Sri Lanka Indians to come to Sri Lanka, there was no visa required at that time. So this is Sri Lanka. I think it's very easily accessible to you. So Indians, we encourage all of you all to take this and come to Sri Lanka within a couple of hours. Yes, the new airport terminal is being built. I think it will be up by next year. In Colombo, the second terminal. This is the design of that. It's a real upmarket one, international level one. It's going to be like any of the large, huge airports anywhere in the world. This bridge is coming up, connecting the airport highway to Colombo. Easy access within several minutes. At the moment, it takes 20 minutes when there's traffic to come to the Kalni Bridge and on the expressway, and from here it takes another 20 minutes to come to Colombo. So this will be within 2-3 minutes you can come to Colombo from once you exit the airport expressway. 2,300 plus additional 5-star hotel rooms are coming to Colombo. Already we have about 5,000 rooms. So this is the level of I think ITC is there, Cinema Life is coming. So you know, a lot of big properties are being developed in Colombo. Some of them were on hold for I think it got delayed a little bit because of the pandemic and the East attack, but now things are I think we are slowly seeing things moving fast. A total inventory of 7,000 plus rooms will be available citywide, 1 to 5 star hotel. So this is how Colombo will look in the future. There'll be 3,000 new residential units by 2025, right? The city will get 400,000 square feet of additional meetings and event space. So these are huge developments in the country. The Colombo port city will add a totally new dimension to Sri Lanka. It's a $25 billion investment by 2025, and the convention center is going to be one of the first additions to it. With the marina is already ready. So this is how it will look, and this is where the convention is. It is in the first phase. So India, Sri Lanka, we are ready. I encourage all of you all to visit the MICE Expo, which is on 1st to the 3rd of December, which is a virtual MICE Expo where all exhibitors of Sri Lanka in the MICE business, from hotels to BMCs to PCOs, all are taking part. So I'm going to show you basically the site quickly. So this is how the site looks, and we have different exhibit pavilions in the exhibit hall. We are going to have a social lounge. So they'll be giving gifts for registered people. So we encourage all of you all to register at the exhibition. This is our BMI Exhibition Center. This is a virtual. So we have conference planners, exhibition organizers, incentive planners, wedding planners, MICE hotels. I'm just going to take you to the MICE hotels now. Right. So these are the MICE hotels who are taking part. When you go in there, you can look at their stalls. So this is basically our main stage. So we are promoting and guiding everybody to this MICE Expo. This is the. I encourage all of you all to register for this. It is Sri Lanka MICE Expo is the site. So I encourage all of you all to register and come to this event and basically experience it, experience Sri Lanka once again. Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that was a fruitful experience for you.
Thank you, Mr. Imran. We are going to have another short video clip being played. Here it is. Oh, that was a very, very encouraging video, and that brings us to the end of the three panelists talk, and I encourage if there are any questions, and then we can go forward. Yeah.
Oh, we have still Mr. Anuruddha is yet to.
Mr. Anuruddha is there.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My fault. I have not yet introduced. I was so engrossed with the video. You see, that is the kind of effect it can have. So it just slipped off my mind. I'm so sorry. Let me introduce our most important panelist from the industry, Mr. Anuruddha Bandara. He is an expert of niche tourism, adventure, conservationist, and corporate change facilitator. He is the founder and president of Sri Lanka Wilderness Foundation, where he has taken his passion for environmental conservation and sustainability to a nationwide platform. He is serving as a consultant and a panelist to the private industry, NGO, and government sectors, including the Ministry of Tourism of Sri Lanka, on various niche tourism initiatives. He started his professional journey in the insurance sector. In 1998, he pioneered the concept of mobile tented safari camps in Sri Lanka by setting up Mahura luxury safari camps. In 2017, he created Aha Pokuna Bushwalks Camp, the first ever bushwalk camps in Sri Lanka. He also partnered in establishing 2 destination management companies in Sri Lanka, that is Encounters Asia and Experiential Journeys, to cater to high-end experiential travel and mid-range local experience-based travel respectively. In 2001, he became one of the 3 pioneers in Sri Lanka to establish experience-based corporate training and started Beyond Boundaries Global Private Limited. Shortly after the business took flight, it became the most sought after, innovative, and unconventional MICE operator and experience-based team building and leadership training outfit in the country. Once again, apologizing to you, Mr. Anuruddha, and floor is for you. Please go. Start.
Yeah, hi, Ivan. Do you see my screen? Is it been shared?
Yes.
Yes.
Great, right. Okay, let me go back to the screen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it works. Right. I go on once again, and the other 2 presenters gave a very good in-depth overview of what's available in Sri Lanka, and I appreciate the organizers for giving me this opportunity to explain what how differently you can add spice into the into your incentives or your MICE event. You know, all the, whether it's a meeting or incentive or a conference, you know, how you could add spice and make it more interesting is what I'm going to talk to you about. And so we are wholesale. Actually, we work with all the MICE operators in the country. So it's there are many when it comes to the regions. Also, there are providers who are creating different experiences. We work with the grassroots level providers as well to empowering them to give the required, of course, you know, providing the spice and the excitement and the bonding. Mostly the corporates or the event organizers are looking for. without going into much details about the company, I would straight away go to the experiences. And of course, these are some of the recent corporates we have handled, local and international. There are quite a few Indian operators, Indian incentives or the corporate events also we have handled. And we basically, our approach is very different. We look at the need, and we try to create the, we spot, we shake, and we shatter the boundaries where the teams would have within themselves, where they could go to the next level in terms of their corporate goals. So when it comes to the teams who are coming to the country for conferences or events, we are an essential part of this whole ecosystem. As Imran explained, we have the hotels, we have the infrastructure, we have the expert event organizers, all that. But we as an organization would bring the actual spice you are looking for to keep the momentum going for a couple of days. And when it comes to the experiences, I'll just take you through few events what we do. So this is something we call it BB team bonding. This could be done in your beach resort, in your hill country resort, in your Columbus in your Columbus City hotel. It could be done in the hotel compound, or we can just move out to a place where there is space. So we could create a team bonding kind of a we create a kind of a carnival atmosphere, and so we give a exciting half a day or a full day. And then we have the adventure camps. If you have time to go a little beyond the city, to travel about 2-3 hours, and then we have our own sites where we can house even up to hundreds. So we can create a completely different magical experience for you and for your groups. So when it comes to BB urban challenges, these are mini treasure hunts or discovery challenges that we could create in any of the cities you would go to. A traditional incentive tour would it will start from Colombo, and then you would go to our cultural triangle, where Sigiriya, Polonnaruwa, those historical cities are. Then you may come to Kandy, and you may come back to Colombo, or you may go to south, and then again you do a small circuit and you may come back. So whether it's the Colombo city or Sigiriya area, or the mountains, or the Gaul heritage city, wherever it is, we could create this challenge or this team bonding program where you would discover the city differently. You will see all the highlights, you will meet the people, but you will do it differently, where you discover the city by yourself as a team, and solving a lot of puzzles, and meeting a lot of people, and it's a very challenging and fun-filled event. Then if you don't have much time, and you are confined to the hotel because you have a long day, maybe a sales conference or an event where you have to spend a lot of time in the hotel, we could come to the hotel, and during the breaks, and during maybe at the beginning or at the end, or in between, maybe just after the lunch break, so we can create different exciting experiences to break the monotonous, to give that energy that you are looking for. And again, the Olympics is all about sports, but here, when it comes to BB Beach Olympics, we do the putt shots differently. We do relays different. We do relays differently. We do basketball differently. So there are so many very much energized and fun-filled innovations that we could bring to you, where anybody can take part. It's not the age is not barrier, and then basically, whether you are a male or a female, it doesn't matter. Everybody can play these games together, creating a lot of bonding and at the same time having a lot of fun. And the charity work is also something that we do regularly. A lot of corporates would have a requirement to do a CSR project, or they would prefer to do something worthwhile to the community. So we have various organizations who we work with, and then with them we provide you an opportunity where the corporate groups go and take part or do something worthwhile and adding something to the community. And again, these are for large groups where we can create amusement park wherever you are or closer to your city hotel. So we could create different stands, different stalls, different game centers where the teams or the people would go, or the participants would go, rotating to each center, and it's a completely a half a day or a full day event where we create again the bonding as well as give that energy and fun for these incentives or the conferences. And we have our own mystery bar in Colombo, where small teams, this is of course limited to up to 15, where you go to this mystery bar and find clues and solve a murder mystery. So it's a place where you can go and have a drink, you can go and have a meal, but yet with the pre-booking, the whole place gets converted to a mystery location. So that is also something that we can do to you in the Colombo city. And we have BB combat archery, and of course again we have the paintballing or the tactical action games as well. These two events can go to any location you prefer, any beach hotel, any city hotel. I mean, city hotels, need to have a little bit of space for us to do that. As you can see, I mean, you don't need a huge space to play these games. Very exciting. And rather than you going to these arenas to play, we come to you to create these games. And then if you have a little bit more time, so say you have say 1 night, 2 days to spare, we can take you to the real wilderness and we can create an experience. We call it strategies of the wilderness, especially for corporates, where we take you on safaris and convert what you see or we transfer what you see when it comes to animal behavior to the corporate life, the strategies that they adopt. If you take an elephant, as a family unit, they have their certain strategies to survive. As a herd with say about 25-30 elephants, they have a different strategy. So as a corporate, what can we learn from them? So this is what we do when it comes to strategies of the wilderness, and we take you to beautiful safari camps. The groups can stay in those camps and then basically explore the wilderness. And of course, it's not an expenditure. This is very important for corporates. Actually, we could convert your expenditure into an investment, because this is where the learning comes from. Right. So for the high end, when it comes to the high end or the senior management teams, we have corporate retreats, but they are not really the usual, the boutique properties or the usual 5-star properties. These are high-end boutique as well as the maybe high-end luxury camps, high-end wilderness lodges. This is one of it. It's called Ahas Pokuna, and so up to about 14 people can occupy this property exclusively, and it's completely you are unwinding, and there's yoga, there's nature meditation, there are bushwalks done exclusively for you. So there are so many things that you can do, and at the same time, there is ample time, or the focus is there for you to do your corporate planning, or do your one-to-one sessions, to plan your strategy for the next couple of years. So we facilitate all that in these kind of special places. Right. So then, if the team, if your team is up to more challenging, endeavors, we have adventures going in the water, on two wheels or on foot. We can create these expeditions running to say 2 to 3 days or even more, based on what you really want to achieve as a team. We have two streams. We have one stream called nice Sri Lanka, 80 kilometers long. You can do it in 2 days, kind of. And then the cycling expeditions are, there is a plenty, and there are walking expeditions as well. So we have quite a few, these journeys for you to attempt as corporates, or of course even as families, where we can, show or give you a different experience when it comes to our country. There are rainforests. This is, as I mentioned, it's called the Black River or Kaluganga. It's a 2 to 3 day expedition, and over hills. Actually, this is there are 3 day expeditions, but of course, some of the expeditions running to 7 to 9 days. There are longer ones as well, but of course, for incentives or corporates, usually we do short ones. And there are motorbike rallies, and you could do strolling, surfing, and safari in the south. So that is also one of the experiences we provide, especially about learning. Learning how to surf. Maybe you don't have to have any experience, but we can teach you how to do it, how to balance your boat. And again, the peak challenges, the Adams Peak, our holiest mountain. So we have a program in and around in that area. Holy Mountain Plus, these we call it Triple Peak Challenge. Cross-country cycling, the long river I was talking. This is, of course, the Sri Lanka's longest river. It's called Mahaveli, and this expedition takes 4 nights and 5 days. And if you are into survivor challenges, yes, we could create it. Actually, sometimes back, all Sri Lankan Airlines cadet pilots, before when they got selected, they had to go through this program. They were put into the jungles with bare minimum, and they have to survive 2 nights, 3 days, navigating by themselves. Of course, we are there to facilitate and to we would make sure that they are safe. But of course, it's all about survival and coming out as a extremely bonded team. So the bonding which could get created any of these expeditions is never broken. It survives for a lifetime. Yeah. So the incentives aspect, was covered in length. So I'm not going to talk about all these nitty-gritties. But what I'm saying is that even inside a conference room, we can create a lot of passion. We can create a lot of energy. And the nights, yeah. So there are different activities we create. Again, going away from conventional shows and conventional, the music, shows and all that. We have activities where we bring the participants as the performers. So what you see here is an event where we did. Actually, we do this quite often. The costumes are made by themselves. It's a competition, and each team need to come up with their own costumes, need to come up with their own dancing acts, own performances. It's a fantastic and very energetic event where we go on till depending on the time, there are no limitations. Yeah. Yeah, so if you need of course, there are fantastic hotels, fantastic beach resorts, mountain resorts, all that. But if your team is up to something really different, we can create you an exclusive mobile hotel on a beach or in a jungle, or where this is in the Kalpitia beach, where nobody is there, no hotel, there aren't any hotels in this section, strip of the land. So we created a 40 tented hotel for 2 nights. So likewise, we can create a hotel for you wherever you want it to be. Yeah, right. And of course, when it comes to explorations and adventure, there are many things we can, with many activities, many adventure activities we can do. But yeah, so the Imran also explained quite a lot on the possibilities, especially the terrain and where you could explore when it comes to our country. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, I hopefully I didn't exceed my timing, and during the question and answer session, I'm happy to answer any other questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anuruddha. That was one of the most wonderful articulation of the kind of services which you have narrated. In fact, the kind of innovation and the options you have explained, it's mind-boggling for the seekers of organization building for any corporate. And we have only 3 questions from the audience. And the first one is regarding the vaccination, that are the Indian vaccinations, that is primarily Covaxin and Covishield, are accepted as vaccination in Sri Lanka for the tourists. Mr. Krishantha, would you like to take that question on?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for that question, and it's a very good question. I will ask Mrs. Upeka something. I think she has more current information than I do. My current information was going with the WHO, but I think she has more current information. Madam, is it okay if you can answer that question?
Yes, according to the Sri Lanka tourism, the Covaxin and Covishield certification is being accepted in Sri Lanka for the tourists to arrive in Sri Lanka.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, our second question is from Mr. Hariom. He says that, have you restarted that online visa facility like it used to be before the pandemic? Mr. Imran? Yeah, Mr. Imran, would you like
can you take that? You want to take that question, or you want me to answer that question?
Yeah, Mr. Krishantha, if you would like to
answer, no?
Yeah, so the process is still the same. It's just that we take one step back because we want to offer a COVID insurance. So that I mean, I know a lot of insurance companies or travel insurance does not cover COVID insurance. So we are just going one step backward, and we just want to ensure this client gets additional insurance and everything is in order before we go through the process. And we are in the last stages of automating the process. After that, everything will be good to go, sir. I hope I answered my question.
Thank you. So online, a step back is that there is a insurance step, and then it is next to that is application for visa. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Because we want to ensure our guests are well taken care of. Because I know most of the insurance does not cover COVID insurance, and we offer COVID insurance. I think $15 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, around about that amount of money for 30 days. So if you get COVID, we don't know. I mean, you can get it today, you can get it tomorrow. So whatever happens, you'll be fully covered in Sri Lanka.
Okay, that's great. The third question is pertaining to the corporate events. Primarily, I think the question the delegate wants to ask: is there a single window or a single desk for seeking help on planning any corporate event, like Mr. Anuruddha was explaining? Mr. Anuruddha,
take the question?
I think you can come through any one of our members of our association. If you go to the SLAPSEO website, you get all our members. You can approach any one of them, and I'm one of them. Anuruddha is one of them. So, or the Convention Bureau is there to guide you as per your specific needs. So yes, Convention Bureau is the one-stop shop who will guide you. But any of our members, depending on the type of service you need, our website clearly says it's slapseo.lk, has our members. You can approach us. There is no problem. Yeah. Mr. Bana, we can't hear you.
I say thank you very much for the answers, and there being no more questions, if you permit me, I would like to state that we had a very good insight into the policy framework given by Mr. Krishanta, and then Mr. Imran has explained which all organizations are taking care of the business and hospitality sector and tourism and travel in Sri Lanka and how those are functioning. And then we had an elaborate presentation by Mr. Anuruddha Bandara, and there were many innovations to what it can be done for traveling in Sri Lanka. I think corporates in India and around the world should take note that there is something very innovative and very useful for the corporates to take their teams there, and organization building is one such trait which they can immensely develop by taking their employees or giving them the vacations there along with this kind of innovation and organization building efforts. And with that, we come to the end of today's webinar, and I once again thank our delegates who took time off and logged in and been here with us on this day. And this video would also be available online on our chamber YouTube channel. And also, I would like to thank Ms. Upeka Samaratunga, who has been such an inspiration and a force to support these webinars always. And I have not many words to thank her. And thank you very much, ma'am. And the distinguished panelists who have brought along their best of the knowledge to enlighten all the future tourists and the corporates who would like to make use of opening of Sri Lanka and taking their business and holidays there. And thank you very much once again. Ayubowan and Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Ayubowan. Namaste.
Thank you.
Shivani.